Hey, I'm Siobhan, community cultivator and founder of Be Free Project. The Be Free Project podcast was created for community, sisterhood, and personal growth. Each week, you'll be inspired and motivated to do the work to show up for yourself so you too can feel fulfilled and be free. Now grab a pen and a notebook and let's get into the show. The best decision that you can make today is joining the Be Free Inner Circle at BeFreeInnerCircle.com, a community for like-minded women to find their forever friends and get accountability to do their personal growth work. Your membership includes a private, exclusive community of women who are not only showing up for themselves, but for one another. Weekly live events with me and or guest speakers, daily accountability so this way you can finally get stuff done, mentorship from yours truly, and so much more. Now, there's no long-term commitment and you can cancel at any time. However, I can guarantee the moment you join, you're going to feel a warm embrace and you're going to want to stick around. Every single member of the Be Free Inner Circle will walk away with clarity, fulfillment, and confidence because guess what? When you're around me, you're going to win. So come and grow inside the Be Free Inner Circle at BeFreeInnerCircle.com. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Be Free Project podcast. You already know I'm so happy that you're here for another week. All right, so this week, what I want to share with you is my Amazon bookstore. Yes, I have an Amazon shop for all things books and also a few other things that I absolutely love. And so one of the things I've done recently is categorize the books into categories to help you find them easier. And so I would love for you to actually bookmark the site, amazon.com/shop/BeFreeProject. That way you can go to it as frequently as you like. I'll also have it in the show notes so you can find it there. So anytime I mention a book here on the podcast, more than likely you will find it in my Amazon shop. And then that way it'll be easier for you to get it. So that is what I'm loving this week. All right, on to today's topic, what it takes for a friendship to grow and flourish. So y'all know I love the topic all around friendship. I am learning so much from my own personal experiences, but you guys are sharing a lot with me as well as it relates to your friendships and how you're growing and making friends as an adult, how you may be outgrowing some friendships and even going through a friendship breakup. I think that's the one that I'm hearing the most about is that many of you are going through a friendship breakup and you need support around that. So before we kick into today's episode, I just want to remind you that the Be Free Meetup Sip and Grow is happening Saturday, September 18th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in Cleveland, Ohio. And our topic for the evening will be all around friendship. There'll also be light bites to eat. You'll be able to have some wine or even sip some non-alcoholic beverages. And it is going to be a great space to connect with other positive, like-minded women, to make meaningful connections and have inspiring conversations. And now is the perfect time to grab your ticket. Women are flying from all over. So it's happening in Cleveland, but you can fly into the city. I would love to host you and have you here. So make sure you go to befreemeetup.eventbrite.com. That link is in the show notes. Okay, so the specific things that I want to share with you today on what it takes for a friendship to grow. And I'm going to share some things that I actually apply in my own friendships. So I'm giving you my stuff. So then that way you can kind of take what you need and see if it works for you, or you can add some things to the list as well. And so I have 7 key things that are very, very, very important. And number 1 is intimacy. Now, I didn't know that this is something that I craved in my friendships until I started receiving it. So some of the newer friendships that I have built, we have beautiful intimacy within our friendship. And what I mean is that there's a lot of vulnerability. There's a lot of transparency. There's a lot of each of us making and holding space for one another. And the more intimate the friendships are, the more connected we feel. And I remember in one particular friendship, as we were deciding to consciously be friends, one of the things that I noticed right away, the more frequently that we talked, the more that we shared personal things with one another, there was intimacy being built in our friendship. And I'm like, oh, this is what I have been yearning for, but I didn't have the language around it. And now that I have it, I understand that every friendship needs a level of intimacy, a level of vulnerability where you can just let your hair down and just be. So that's number one. And something that I recommend for every friendship as it relates to intimacy is that number one, you have to be willing to be vulnerable in the friendship in order to receive vulnerability from your friends. So it can't just be one-sided. It has to be a give, in my opinion. Number two is communication, which is very, very, very important. And one of the things that I also do in my friendships is I ask each of my friends, what is your love language, right? So you know how the love language for your romantic relationships, but what is your love language for your friendships? And so for me, actually mine is the same across the board, which is words of affirmation. And so I like to find out also what is my friend's love language, so then that way I can love her in the way that she needs to be loved. So as it relates to communication, you also want to be able to express yourself in a healthy way and know that you can agree to disagree and that it's a safe space for you to have those hard conversations. Another thing that's very important is that you never want to be the type of friend that's always dumping your stuff on another friend. You really want to check in and say, hey, I have something going on in my life. Is this a good time that I can share with you? Versus just assuming that they are in a space that they can handle whatever it is that you have going on. You really want to check in and make sure that you're not dumping your stuff on your friends. And also, you want to be intentional with your words, right? Words are very important. And so when you love your friend and you want to show up for your friend, you want to make sure that you're speaking from a place of kindness and love. So in my opinion, communication is extremely important, because when you don't have communication, then things can just go haywire. I mean, I will be honest and say in other friendships that I've had, I haven't always been the best communicator. And one of the things that I would say often is that I don't like confrontation and I don't like conflict. The issue with that is a lot of hard conversations got avoided because of my fear of having the hard conversations. And now that I am healthier and I'm in healthier friendships, even when we have to talk about something difficult or challenging, we can do that in a healthy way and we can move on from it. The third thing that you need is support. Okay. And every friend needs someone to support her, whether that's celebrating your wins, big or small, whether that's sharing your goals and your dreams, or maybe you just need your friend to show up for you. And you can support in many different ways, and it will look different depending on what's happening and depending on the friend, right? But what I know for sure with every single one of my friends, they are going to support me, whether they attend my event, whether they share my work, whether they spend time with me on the phone as I process some hard things. It doesn't matter. Whatever I need, my friends are always, always, always going to support me. And you want the same thing, right? Number 4, connection. Now, this is when I talk a lot about this on IG. You need to have an energetic match with your friends, right? You want friends who match your energy, where there's positive vibes. And when I tell you, when you have friends who are on the same vibration and wavelength as you, there's a different kind of synergy. There's a different kind of connection that you're having. And I also want you to know that as it relates to connecting with your friends, you want to be able to be your most authentic self. That means you're not code switching, where when you're with this group of friends, you're one way, and when you're with another group of friends, you're another way. No, you should be able to be who you are, period, no matter what friend you're around. And if you're not able to be your full self, then you need to do some inner work and check in and say, okay, why am I not able to be my full self with this friend, but then I act a completely different way in this other friendship? So when it comes to connection, energy and vibes is very, very, very important. And I will say with a few of my friends, there is a divine connection that we have. And now that I have it, this is why I speak about how my friends feel like home to me, because they do, because of the connection that we have. And I wish that connection on everyone, because once you have it, you realize, oh, I will never settle for anything less than this feeling right here. Number 5, and I didn't know that I needed this before I got it, but it's very important. And that is safety. And what I mean by that is that you want your friends to feel safe. You want it to be safe for you to explore, to grow, to become, to evolve, to change without judgment. Like you want your friends to feel like a safe space that no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how you show up, they are going to be a safe space for you always, and they will never, ever, ever, ever judge you for your actions. Number 6, on what it takes for a friendship to grow and flourish is that you need to have healthy boundaries where your friends respect where you stand, they respect your words, they understand what you need, and they will honor them, right? And having boundaries is you owning your power. And when you have healthy boundaries in place, that means that your friends don't take your boundaries personal, they respect them, and they love you anyways. Number 7 is commitment. Every friendship needs commitment in order to grow and flourish. That means that you are present with your friends. When you're hanging out, you're not just always on the phone, but like you're actually engaging and communicating with one another. You're spending time together, whether that's going out to dinner, hanging out on Zoom, maybe you're talking on the phone, maybe you plan a girls trip together, but you're making and spending time with your friends. I will say for me, I have a group of friends where every month or every other month, we get on a group chat and all 4 of us arrange our schedule. So then that way we can get on the group chat and check in with every single person. And then my individual friends, I check, and then when it comes to individual relationships, I do my best to check in with my friends, sometimes daily, sometimes throughout the week. It just depends on the relationship. But I do my best to check in because I'm committed to my friendships. And I'm committed because my friendships are important to me. And I value my friendships. And I do understand that my friends add so much value to my life. And so the same thing that I desire is what I give. And because my friendships are so amazing, it's the same thing that I want for every single woman in the world, right? And so again, I hope these tips are helpful for you. I would definitely do a check-in to see where your friendships fall, what area needs to be improved. Like maybe your friendships need a little bit more intimacy. So how do you add that? Maybe you need a little bit more connection. Maybe you realize that your friendships have none of these things and it's time for you to find new friends, This is all beautiful work that you get to do. And I invite you to join the Be Free Inner Circle. It's a positive, like-minded community of women who are doing the personal growth work. And they're also building connection with one another. They're building real and genuine friendships. And it's the perfect place for you to be able to make friends so that you can grow and flourish and you begin to build your 95%, right? You're not, and that goes back to that quote, y'all. 95% of your success or your failure is based on who you spend time with. And so you want to make sure you're spending time with friends that you can grow with. And so if you're in the space of looking for new friends, or just being around positive, like-minded women of color, it is the space for you. Head over to BeFreeInnerCircle.com to learn more. Your journal prompt today is, what do you need most in your friendships? And your affirmation is, my life is just beginning. Next, I'm going to highlight our coffee giver of the week, which is Sierra Casher. And she says, you are illuminating paths for so many women. Thank you. Well, thank you, Sierra. And she purchased 2 coffees and she's a part of the Be Free Inner Circle and she's coming to the Be Free Meetup Sip and Grow. I'm so excited. And you too can treat me to coffee, however many cups that you choose, by clicking the link in the show notes. And with you doing that, that's just you saying, I support you. I love what you're doing. Your work is helping me in some capacity and I want to treat you to a cup of coffee or 2. So thank you in advance. Don't forget that if you want to share your key takeaways about any episode, you can always call into 216-438-0830 and leave a voicemail letting me know what you thought of an episode, or you can ask a question around personal growth and or friendship. Lastly, if you were inspired by anything today, make sure you share this episode with a friend and say, hey girl, I want you to listen to this and then let's talk about it afterwards. I would love for you to give me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts with a sentence or 2 of what you thought about the episode. Don't forget, you can share this podcast on IG stories, just make sure you tag me at Be Free Project or Siobhan Sudbury so I can see it. And until next time, girl, be free.
Hi, my name is Catherine Bell. I live in Tampa, Florida. I am a part of the Be Free Inner Circle. I chose to join this community because I realized that I needed strong, like-minded women around me. From the first day I joined, the women were so welcoming. I love the way that it is just non-judgmental. Being vulnerable is hard for me, but I've been able to do that within this group and have not once felt ashamed of that. I enjoy being able to encourage others and pull inspiration from others, but have real life conversations that I think women really need to have. I'm a proud member of the Be Free Inner Circle, and I think you should be too.